All right, CSS battle time. Let's get started. We have this interesting shape. Okay, the top half is a radial gradient, or I'm going to make it a radial gradient. The bottom half is more interesting. Uh, I mean, basically, it's triangles. The question is, how do we want to make those triangles? Um, there are I know of three ways to make triangles. There's like the border trick you can do, basically, kind of like this. I have a button that adds it because I can never remember. But you say zero height, zero width, and you use border transparency to get triangle shapes. It's going to require two of those because I have to do the white triangle and then the purple triangle. This is not the most efficient way to write it. It's just a simple way to write it. But I think we might be better off with gradients. So borders is a way, gradients is a way, clip path is a way. There's probably other ways. Those are the three I know. Clip path actually might be the play here. Hmm. Might be. Because you can reuse the clip path potentially and just reposition it. I don't know. If I don't start writing code, I'm not going to have anything though. I'm going to start with conic gradient. So it's going to be conic gradient. It's going to go from 180 plus 45 is 225 degrees. So it's going to be white, and it's going to be from 225 deg. It's going to be white, not 25% for 45 deg, and then it's going to be transparent. Look, that's not transparent. I have to say zero, I think. And of course, I can't see anything there. So I'm going to make it not white. I'm going to make it red for the time being. So there's a triangle. Now we have to have another triangle that's basically the same, but it's going to be positioned different and it's going to be a different color. So what I'm going to do is, for now, I don't know if this is the best way to do this. We'll say minus minus g for gradient. And gradient is equal to this value with a semicolon at the end. And so we'll say minus minus g. Oh, save r. The problem is going to be this color. Ho, ho, ho. Yeah, the problem is going to be that color. I don't know if this is going to work. All right, I'm going to quit being clever, and I'm just going to write the thing. Because you know what happens when I try to be clever too quickly. All right, on top of that, I'm going to have another conic gradient. It's going to be basically the same, but in different colors and in a different position. This one's going to be purple. All right. This one is going to be at, well, it's not at, it's going to be positioned. We'll say start with 0, 0. And then it's going to be 20 pixels down. That pushes it off screen also. I may have to play with size a little bit. And it's going to be, I don't know, 50 pixels. That's pushing it the wrong way. Minus 100. Okay, so a couple things. It's not 45 degrees. 110, 120. It's more than 45 degrees, right? 50. And that means it needs to start earlier. 215. It's too much. 20. 21. Nope. 18.5. And then what would it be to be flat? 270 minus 218.5 is 51.5. That looks actually kind of okay. It's in the wrong place. Right? I have the purple one where the white one goes. So this is going to be minus 145. And then down 45. Nope, just 40. And then in some more 60. 70. Nope, 60. 60. Looks pretty good. And then this one is going to be whatever the other one was, 140 minus 140. And needs pixels 20. Zero. No, that one it needs 120. Oh, the angles are wrong. 51.5 and to 18.5. And I've broken it. Egg? Yeah. Okay. And then let's put a background on the rest of the thing that is this color. And we can make the red one not red anymore, but white. It's not perfect, but it's close. What needs to happen though? Looks like the purple one needs to move over a little more. The purple one is this one, so it needs to move 42. Nope, that's moving it down the wrong way. 162. That doesn't look terrible. Okay, now let me just select background here. Now we have it repeating to the other side. May or may not be a problem. I'd have to rewrite all of this flipped unless I want to do something else clever to try to get it flipped. You know me and clever. I'm going to go ahead and select star. I'm going to say background, radial gradient. It's going to be, can be transparent. It's going to be 1Q, transparent. I don't know what that is, 40 pixels. It's going to be white for 100 pixels. Then it's going to be transparent again. This needs a 0. Okay, so it's not big enough. 120. I'm being paged. One moment, please. All right, we're back. Still not big enough. 140. That looks like the right size. It needs to be at 50 bottom and then moved back up 0, 150 pixels, 160. That doesn't look exactly right. That does. All right, and now I'm going to try WebKit box select right That is not working. What happens if we go left? Nothing. Below? Nothing. Does WebKit box reflect not work on the background? Am I doing it wrong? All possibilities. So if that is indeed the case, then we need to rethink some things. Maybe I can, well, I'm overriding the background there. That's not going to work. All right. So we need also to have, boy, this is going to be really long if I do this. We need to have a paragraph tag. We need this thing to be in that paragraph tag. Paragraph tag right now has no size. Height is not 300, but is 284. Now, what I think we're seeing is, let's try margin 0 here. Yeah, now this needs to be 300 because I changed it. Of course, that's not working exactly right, but I think it's fixable. 164, yeah, 70. And here we would say scale minus 1, 0. Nope. Yeah, and that won't work anyway because it'd overwrite everything. Oh, well, 0 doesn't work on scale, you idiot. Let's just add some margin to this. I don't care. So we're seeing the outline on both the paragraph and the body, which is fine. I'm wondering why scale isn't working. Okay, it is kinda. Oh, so I'm not inheriting background, you idiot. Okay, let's try again. I think it's going to cover up the thing under it, which is going to be a problem. The only way, in theory, I could make that work is if I actually give it some margin, not on top though, but on the sides. 0, 0, 150. Okay, now we're getting the reverse thing. 0. Why is it coming in from both sides? Is this margin playing with us? Yes. Okay. 250. 300. It's too much. 280. 260. 70. What? I think the paragraph tag is missing. Not as much as I thought. Minus 30. What's holding it off? What's holding it off this edge? Something is. Yeah, I didn't think so. What's keeping it from getting to that edge? So the margin on 50 to 80, that doesn't make any sense to me. 75, 70, 80, 2, 5, 284. Okay. I don't know what that little line that I see is. 48. Nope, that makes it worse. 52. Nope, doesn't change that. All right. I'm not confident in that line. Yeah. Let's try 60. Why am I getting that? Because it's 40, 30. Can we move it back? 60, 70, 80. That's too much. 82. Nope, that's too much. 72, 76. Okay. Wow, this is weird. And it's a bad solution, too. I'm chasing a bad solution. I have a minute left on a bad solution. All right, let's put the paragraph back. Margin 0 on top minus 200. 50. And then let's move it minus 200, 180, 170, 160. Let's get rid of the outline and see if that's a match. I am not of high confidence. Nope. That's closer. 281. Nope, that's worse. 79. Which means this needs to be 39. That's the end of time. 80. All right, I'm going to stop the video. If I get a solution, I will do an ad to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. All right, so back. I have a bad solution, but it matches. So here's what I ended up doing. I have my still two conic gradients creating my border triangle. This one is from, and I had a variable a that I put at the from for both of them. And then the angle, I made variable b for both of them. Variable b is a calc. It's 270 minus variable a. Now, I already tried 218.5 degrees, which makes this one 250 something. I don't remember the number. This one doesn't work. You'll see that I get this score, I think. Yeah, I get this score. 219 doesn't work. 220, 217, those don't work. What ends up working is 218.7. Yay. So now this becomes 218.7. Get rid of our A. Deg. This becomes 218.7. Nope. And this 245 minus 218.7 is, oh, I mean 270. Sorry. Yeah, 270. 51.3. So that will become this. Although that doesn't look right because it's not right. 0.3. Yeah. I don't know. I just misread or something. I don't know. Okay, so there's an answer. I can get rid of these. I can't get rid of that. I can get rid of those. This is a terrible solution. I am just going to minify, submit 300 characters. Woo! I can unit replace maybe. Submit. And we're calling that good for today because I've spent too much time on this already. Thanks for watching. See you next time.